Hello everyone, and let's talk about Star Wars Battlefront. Jesus Christ. How could a game that promised so much go so wrong? I mean, basically, it is just a movie game. That's what it is. That's what it is. We're judging this as a game that's a sequel to Battlefront 2, and that's wrong, okay? It's just a cheap, cash-in movie game. And that's it. It's just there to hype episode 7. And that's it. That's all there is to it. There's nothing of substance. There's nothing substantial here. It's just a cheap, quick cash-in, or an expensive, quick cash-in. Now, what is good? We'll start with what's good about Battlefront. The art department at DICE did a fantastic job, you gotta say. The look, the feel, and the sound design, top-notch, okay? They are amazing, okay? They're absolutely amazing, okay? They nailed the Star Wars look and feel, okay? They nailed everything. Everything sounds like it should. The lightsabers, the blasters, the X-Wings, the TIE fighters, everything they have absolutely nailed. The look is, as well, excellent. Hoth looks amazing. Sullust is a cool planet as well. Sullust is a really cool looking planet. Tatooine looks really cool as well. You know, so they nailed the look. Graphically, looks awesome. Okay, even on Xbox One at 720p. I should put it playing on Xbox One. Did play the beta on all the consoles and decided to go with the Xbox One version just because I had friends that played it who didn't then played it for a week and said this is fucking shit and then left. And it's like, okay, now I'm playing on my own again. It's like, oh man. So you had a few friends to play with for a week, and really, honestly, I don't blame them, to be honest, because it was like, it did last a week, and you know, someone summed it up and said it's worse than Titanfall. And someone did sum it up as well, it's not Battlefront as a Star Wars skin. It's a dumbed down Call of Duty. That's what it is. It's just a Call of Duty dumbed down. Okay, it's nothing like Battlefield. Okay, it's not Battlefield with Star Wars skin over it. It's not. It's not. It is just a dumbed down COD. And can you dumb down Call of Duty? I never thought it was possible, but yes, you can. Yes, you can. Balance? Fuck it. Like, they've never heard of balance. These guys make BioWare look good. They make BioWare Austin, class balance in Star Wars The Old Republic, look good. Okay, they make them look good. And that's how bad, that's the standard at which we're judging them by, because that's the previous kind of Star Wars multiplayer game. That was the last one. Star Wars The Old Republic was the last Star Wars multiplayer game. Not that anyone really in SWTOR really cares about PvP, but yeah, they can't balance shit. And DICE never even tried. Never even tried. I mean, the fact that you can get killed by homing weapons, like, who the fuck put that in the game? Like, can the homing missile not have a use for vehicles only? Wouldn't that have been that's a way to fix it? Now, you can't use it on other players. You can only use it on vehicles. That way it makes sense. You could use it to take on the AT-ATs or the AT-STs. And never before have I seen a game offer so little, yet demand so much. I mean, it demands that it's so fucking grindy. It just demands that you play it, you know, you play it and you gain levels at such a slow rate. And all the cool stuff, of course, is left at high level. So for new players, it sucks. Absolutely sucks. If you don't buy it at launch, you're fucked. You're totally fucked. That's the only way to describe it, is you're totally fucked. Also, it is a pay-to-win game. Okay, the best pistol in the game was the DL, a DH-44, which is Han Solo's gun, is clearly the best weapon in the game. Okay, available at rank 25. I can't remember how much the credit cost is. You need to have a rank. That's the thing. Get rid of the ranks and just make everything cost credits. Would have been such a better system. It's such a terrible system. You get that gun if you get to rank 25, or if you buy the digital deluxe edition. You know, so you pay £65 here in the UK, and you've got the best weapon in the game. Pay to win. Simple as that. Just pay to win. You know, it just beggars belief. Total pay to win. That's the definition of pay to win. It does feel like a free-to-play game as well. Some of the models that are there, there's no microtransactions in it, which is the biggest surprise. Jesus Christ. Why? I'm looking at that thinking, why are there no microtransactions? I'm actually surprised that there's no microtransactions. That's how sad we've got to today. And the sad thing about it is that Battlefront 2, 10 years ago, in every measurable way, is better. It's just so much better than this game. How can we have regressed so far? It shows you how far the games industry, that video games have gone backwards in the last 10 years, that everything that you loved about Battlefront 2 is gone. Space battles? Nope. Conquest mode? Nope. Campaign mode? Nope. You've just got a shallow, repetitive multiplayer that lacks modes. I mean, the modes are terrible. There's only really 3 that are really worth doing. Supremacy, which is kind of like rush mode. Walker Assault, which is kind of the unique mode. You've got the Empire, who are trying to escort the walkers to a target and destroy it. And the rebels, who have to call in Y-Wings to disable the shield on the walkers and destroy the walkers, okay? And this is still unbalanced. It's not as unbalanced as it was in beta, but it's still pretty fucking unbalanced, let me tell you that. It is still favors the Empire, okay? The fact that they can use the walkers as weapons as well, you can pilot the walkers. Well, you can't pilot them, but you can go in and use it as a rail gun, on-rails gun. But you can't be killed while you're in it, so when you get in it, you know, you're in it for a time limit, but of course you can kill anybody, but you can't be killed in turn, which is a bit unbalanced. You've got the ATSTs as well, which just seem to unbalance. You've also got TIE fighters, though the rebels do have the I can't remember, you get the X-Wings, and I can't remember what the speeder thing is called, the thing that Luke Skywalker crashes in Return of the Jedi. You get that thing as well. I can't remember what it's called, to be honest with you. I don't remember. But you get that as the rebels, but it just seems really underpowered in comparison to the Empire. Now, you can win, you know, there are ways to win. Endor, on the other hand, seems to overly favour the rebels. It's very difficult to see rebel players because they're wearing green, and of course Endor is a green planet. You know, it's, whereas the Empire are, you know, your sperm soldier stormtroopers. You know, easy to see, easy to kill, which is quite an unfair advantage, really, on Endor for the rebels. Tatooine is okay. Sullust is okay, as balance goes. Supremacy is okay. Drop Zone's okay. The rest of the modes just aren't worth it. Now, there is, I guess, a solo mode here. It's weird that this is the opposite of SWOTOR. You know, we complain in SWOTOR that it's, yeah, we want multiplayer things in SWOTOR, and then we complain in Battlefront, hey, can we have some fucking single player things to do? There is a sort of horde mode type thing, which is only 2 players, which really sucks. It's really just filler content, really. It's just there as a kind of filler, the survival mode. You can do it solo, you can do it with a friend, you can do it in split screen as well, which I guess is good, but it's just, it's just not there, really. We're just struggling. It's not really worth doing, to be perfectly honest. It's kind of sad, really, that we're not going to get the perfect Star Wars game, are we? We've got one, on the other hand, that's an MMO that is so focused on single player that nobody wants to subscribe to it for long periods of time. They have to beg you, you know, with subscriber rewards to get you to subscribe. And the other one, where people want a single player campaign, is so focused in multiplayer that, you know, is just not worth doing a single player campaign. If you don't like multiplayer, you're not going to buy it. Simple as that. Now, I recommended pick it up in the beta if you're a Star Wars fan, but then, you know, based on the full game, it is not worth it. It is not worth full price. There's just not enough content there. The beta was fun. I liked the beta. I'll be honest, I really liked the beta. It was a fun little, you know, Tatooine survival was okay, really, but not as a fully fledged. That's your single player. You've also got, like, the hero hunt mode or whatever, which is just awful. You can never find people playing these other modes. You've got, like, the one that's just deathmatch, it's a team deathmatch mode as well, which is just awful. Really, because, you know, it's unbalanced as shit. You know, you got people with homing missiles killing you and things like that, and people with overpowered fucking pistols who've bought the collector's edition just to be overpowered. And that's where it goes wrong, and it is just an EA game. It's an EA game in every sense of the word. Shallow, repetitive, waste of money. No microtransactions though, but you know, they hawk the season pass on the main menu, which is ridiculous. I don't think there's anyone going to be around long enough. I don't think this will last long. It's going to be like Titanfall, really. Titanfall I liked, really, but games should have a single player. We've seen that with games this generation, though. We've seen Titanfall, Evolve, this Battlefront. What else have we seen? We've seen quite a few. Mag last gen. We've seen that, where it's just multiplayer only games, and they seem to fail a lot because, you know, once you don't get in, if you can't find a group of friends to play with or a regular group of people to play with, I mean, most of the people I know have traded it in. They've traded it on Xbox One. It's like, fuck this shit. This is garbage. I'm not playing this anymore. I'm gonna go play Fallout 4. Much better game. Hard to blame them, really. It's hard to blame them, really. I'm going to play Halo 5, which I guess is, you could argue, has microtransactions in it. At least it doesn't have microtransactions. That's the only positive, and that is quite sad. But anyway, did anyone get Battlefront? And does anyone like Battlefront, I should ask? Does anyone actually like it? We should say, because that is my thoughts on Star Wars Battlefront. Sad, really. I looked forward to it, but I'll stick to Battlefront 2. It is the better game. It's just sad that, you know, we've come so far downhill that the only thing we can praise a game for is not having microtransactions in it. I'm just at a loss for words, really, to describe that as a positive. The graphics, yeah, they're good. They're really good. It runs well as well. Xbox One, 720p, 60 FPS. PS4 runs at 900p at 60 FPS. And the PC... it runs fairly well on moderate hardware. I've seen it run on, you know, graphics cards. Like a GTX 950 can run it at high settings at sort of 45 FPS. Which is pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, my PC, I can run it at ultra settings at sort of 45 to 55 FPS. And I can run it on high at 60 FPS. So, and I have, my graphics card is I have a 280X, an R9 280X, which is the one card below the recommended card. The recommended card is a 290. I have a 280X, which is below that. It's just the model below that. So, you know, running it on the P, and I can run an ultra 45 to 55 is playable. Obviously, multiplayer, you want to run high just to keep that 60 FPS. So, you know, it's not too bad. That was beta. Apparently, the final game runs just as well. I haven't tried it on the PC, but yeah, I mean, it does say 16 gigabytes of RAM, but that's bullshit. On ultra settings in Tatooine, it used 5.5 gigabytes. On Hoth, on ultra settings, it used, I think, 6.5 gigabytes. And that's total RAM usage, you should say. I have 16 gigabytes of system RAM. I never saw it go above 8. I did quite a lot of testing on it on the PC back in the beta, and you know, I'd like to believe that most of the stuff from the beta, it's actually better optimized, someone said, from beta, and it actually has some nice visual tweaks. But again, it runs really smoothly on PC, so that's something to be said. Sound design, art design, excellent. Gameplay, terrible. Okay, but it's a video game, you know, we want a video game, and it just lacks modes, lacks balance, lacks anything really that you'd expect from a decent multiplayer shooter that you're going to play long term. You know, it will sell well. It has sold well, at least. It does have the Star Wars name, and it is just a simple movie cash-in game. We got to treat it like, you know, Iron Man game or the Thor game, which was shit, Green Lantern, those type of games that you come out with movies that are kind of shit. We have to treat it like one of them. And if we treat it like one of them, it's not so bad. But if we treat it as a sequel to Battlefront 2, garbage, utter garbage. But anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.